Okay, last one, and this should be fairly easy as well. This is about grading a piece on this particular, on Turnitin, and the process that you would go through to grade it. So you can see, it's interesting here on the side here, it gives me just a little, it's an easy way to access whatever's being submitted or whatever's upcoming at this point. You can see that there. You can also see in the activity stream here, it tells me who's uploaded what at what point. The cutoff for Year 12s was to yesterday. So I can see Monday, 2nd of March, which was yesterday. So I'm going to, start marking or giving feedback on a piece of work from one of my Year 12s through this. So I'm going to go into all classes, Year 12 English, whatever class it is that you've done. So you notice there the 3 pieces. From memory, I'll show you how I check. So I believe this is the first one. I believe I've finished all those. It'll tell me. Okay, so you can see there, yep, pretty much marked all of those. This is actually technically the second piece that I've received from them. So they've had the opportunity to submit 4, which is a bit crazy. And I probably won't do that in the future because I'm exhausted. But you can see all these people haven't taken the opportunity to submit the rest. But you can see here, yep, I've given grades to all these. Got some information there that's relevant. You can see whether they've acknowledged my grade and response, which is a bit naughty, but maybe be useful for parent-teacher interviews. I'm going to go back. Find the one. You may only have one, so it might be easy for you. You just go to View. I think there'll be one here that I haven't marked. Okay. So yes, don't select that. So yes, I've got all these ones, and there was one here from Luke that I haven't marked yet because it's got this pen there rather than a grade, so I know that I haven't marked that one yet. It also tells me that there's 0% similarity, which I can be reasonably confident that it's his own work. At least I have more of an understanding whether it's his own work than if he just handed me a written piece of paper or emailed me a Word document. Okay, so this is the window through which you will mark the piece. And as you can see, it's tiny. So I'll go here and make that full screen. So it blows it out like that for us, which is nice. You'll notice here as well, it's still pretty tiny. I do have my laptop at a very high resolution, so it may not look this small on yours, but it's quite easy. Just see this little bar down here. Slowly, it's struggling. Okay, so then I'm just going to drag that across a little bit, make it a bit bigger. Way too big. Okay, that'll do. Now notice the purple. Purple is wonderful. The purple is prefabricated feedback. So it goes through the piece, it looks at punctuation, spelling, capitalisation, style, grammar, all of that jazz, and automatically generates feedback for the student. So notice here, there's a comma missing. For this piece, comma, I take, and I don't need to put it in, rhetoric. Obviously that's not actually a word, and it tells the student. This is run-on sentence, automatically tells the student that that's true. And if you ever look through the piece, you'll notice that all of that is already given as feedback to the student, which is great. But of course, I'm going to want to comment on meaning and all of the other important things, especially the context. So as I go through this and I say, well, I'll be using the characters of parents, requesting his parents' permission, looking at, okay. So actually what Luke has done here is he's mostly commented on the content of his piece rather than the language choices that he's made, which is what he should do in a statement of intention. So I want him to focus more on language choices. It's also a bit small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I'm going to select all of this. So I've selected the part that I want to comment on. Click to comment. I'm going to write my comment here. So I'll say something along the lines of, well, whatever I want really. Explain your language choices in more depth. Yep. In more depth. If you haven't made more language choices than this, you need to. I'll be nice. I'll be so nice, and I'll put a smiley face so he knows I'm not being cranky at him. Maybe I'm too nice. Okay. I don't have to do that every single time. I find that I type full sentences more quickly than I write them. So, and that I know that's not everyone. But so that's one of the factors. But one of the other things you can do is start to develop these language banks here, and a lot of this is already generated for you. So I know improper citation, I know awkward expression, vague. They're all there normally, and you can access more of them by going to this little symbol there, and you can access ones about composition, format, punctuation, usage, etc. So I just go with the commonly used. If I find something that I want to say that I haven't got a comment for automatically yet, then I will say, I don't know, say if I wanted to point out here that there's a repetition of a word. Well, there we go, I've actually already probably got repetition. Right. But it's, let's say I want to create that kind of comment. Drag it over here. So I would say what's wrong with it. Please, or don't please, misuse of repetition. Then I'd go save as new quick mark. I'd give it a code, REP, whatever you want to use. Hit save, and you notice there that has saved it for me. They're pretty good, and we've all got our marking codes, and we've all got things that we will want to communicate individually from our perspective. So that's that. The other advantage is, so you notice here, say I'm 15 and my mind is curious of this world. There's a clear misuse of a preposition. Wonderful Mr. Computer Man has found that out for us and has commented on that. I can add a comment to it if I want. Or, and this is what's given to the student too, there's a handbook. So if the student wants to know more about the mistake that they've made, they want a better explanation, they want to know how to fix it, they can actually click on View the Handbook, and it will go to a web version of the Turnitin handbook, and will give them all this information on how to fix that problem, which could take you 5 minutes of class time or 5 minutes of your lunch or what have you. So it's pretty handy. Okay, once that's all done, one of these days I'll figure out how to use the rubric. If you want to give general comments, you notice down here, so there's the annotations. You click on that one down there and you've got the ability to give a general comment. If you're more verbal, you can actually skip the written general comment and you can actually record an audible comment, which is pretty cool. So you just hit record, start recording your verbal feedback to the student. You can do that, and there's a rubric down there if you want to. But then you pop up here and you give him a mark out of 10 or whatever it is that you want to. It says out of 10 there. Sometimes it will say whatever you've entered. So I'm going to give him a 5. And then I'll probably go back and mark it properly. But, yep, that's it. So that's all the functionality that's available to you in marking a piece via Turnitin. There's probably, oh, there we go. If you want to print it and do it by hand, you've got your print option here. So you can download the PDF of the current view, so you can actually keep all of the annotations. If you want to keep them, or all of the automatically generated annotations, you can keep them, even with your hand, like your physical copy. If you don't want any of the annotations that come with the program, I don't know why you wouldn't, I think you're mad, but you can actually just download the submitted file itself and you can print that off. That's it.